Manual. 400 ISO. Aperture 5.6. Shutter speed 130. It doesn't move. Aperture 3.5. Aperture mode. ISO 400. 3.5 stop. Shutter speed 1/40. But when I keep doing zoom, the shutter speed will move. Aperture 4.2, shutter speed 125. Aperture 5.6, shutter speed 1/10. Is it grainy? I don't know. Shutter speed mode. I have it in 1/30th. Aperture 4.5, ISO 400. I'm going to zoom. To 5.6, but the shutter speed is still 1/30 and the ISO stays the same. I'm going to change this is 1/5 shutter speed, 125, 1/16, 1 second. I don't know how this looks like. It doesn't make any changes in the video. This is program. Shutter speed 150. Look at this. It looks kind of nice. Shutter speed 150, aperture 3.5, ISO 400. I don't know what this P does, but if I zoom, it changes the shutter speed. So now I'm on zoom f-stop 5.6 and the shutter speed is 113. My ISO doesn't change at all. Is it grainy? I don't know. Is it noisy? Stop. This is automatic. My ISO, it's an 800 when I have 3.5 f-stop and shutter speed 125. I'm gonna zoom into the bunny's head, and the more I keep zooming, my ISO level now is 4,000. My ISO is 4,000. Aperture 5.6 and shutter speed 1/125. This is gonna be grainy, I guarantee. This is gonna be pretty much the same. It's automatic, no flash. All of these videos are in low light situation. So let's go. So this is my ISO is up to 1,000 and 3.5, 125. Now 5.6, and again my ISO is 4,000. This is gonna be great. In my portrait mode, the ISO on 3.5 f-stop, it's on 800. Shutter speed is 1/20, 125. Can I change that? No, I can change the exposure. There it is. I just make it brighter, but I think that's not natural, so I'm just gonna keep it at 0 and I'm gonna zoom in. Yes, naturally my ISO is bumping up again. I zoom in to 5.6. My shutter speed is 150 and the ISO doesn't go as high as 4,000. It just goes to 1,600. I think that's gonna be nice. Sport mode, understandable. This is at 1/400 shutter speed. That means that we need to capture motion fast. My f-stop is in 3.5, but the ISO, it's 3,200. 3,200. So I'm gonna zoom in to 5.6 and my shutter speed is in 1/100. The ISO stays in 3,200. I don't understand why, but I don't know how this is gonna look like. Macro mode, the natural ISO on the 5-stop 5 will be 800. Shutter speed 1/60. Let me zoom in. The ISO went up all the way to 2000 in the 5.6 f-stop, and I have a shutter speed of 1/60. This is landscape mode. In the wider aperture 3.5 we have 800 ISO and the shutter speed is 1/125. I'm gonna go to 5.6 zoom. My ISO bumped up to 1600 and the shutter speed is 1/50. There it is. That's all about this camera. Let's see how it performs in low light situations.